to Garden Talk with Jason and Don. Tonight, secondary virginity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, it's Jason and Don with Garden Talk. We're talking about secondary virginity tonight. We were just talking about the extreme case of over-medication in our healthcare and the hundreds of thousands of pills and thousands of bottles that I had to return to my doctor's office the other day in a large garbage bag carrying a felony quantity of Ativan down the street, enough Seroquel to knock out all of the elephants in Africa.
Traveling to the homeless street people.
Well, dropped off by the Lyft driver not at the emergency room door, but on the street in front of the emergency room where there's a shitload of homeless people. Yeah, and they hear the hey man, what is that? I'm just running down the street. Anyway, that's what we were talking about. We were just talking about the opiate crisis, and I was thinking, well, I'm not a pill popper. My doctor said to me, well, you give me a lot of money, sell these. I said, yeah, but I'm not a drug dealer anymore. I don't think the only thing people might have bought was a Seroquel. Well, not the tweakers, because that'll keep you up. Oh, you need something to put you down. That's it. No, just, I sold Seroquel to tweakers one time when I ran out of money. Because I had a Seroquel because I hadn't been taking it, because I had been up tweaking. And when we ran out of money to buy meth, I said, well, I could sell Seroquel. And everybody said, well, who wants to go to sleep? And I said, I don't know, let's find out. Is anybody at the party we were at, or at the bed and breakfast we were living at in West Hollywood at the time, does anybody here need to sleep? And we were like, oh, that'd be nice. So, yeah, okay, $25 a pill.
Jeez, really?
Well, you say that. You say 25, and then you end up something like 10 or 15. Yeah, just make them feel like they get a deal. Yeah, and I get enough money to buy some meth that way. Yeah. 20. Yeah.
One drug for another drug.
20. If you sell 20, you sell 20 pills for. You get enough for 20, 30 pills.
Do you know who you're offending right now?
You buy a teenager.
By that statement right now, you're offending every taxpayer that actually hate the idea of the medical stuff all going to seniors and disabled people, the pills and all this stuff, and they think it's a crime that they get all this free medication. Now you're making it seem how you could use the system to sell some of the things that's prescribed for you to make money to buy another illegal drug with.
Well, there's a reason for that.
I know, but it still offends the taxpayers.
It is.
And
why they do that anymore, and
I'm
in AA now, and Crystal Month Anonymous, and my living amends to that is that not to do it again.
Right.
And these are the stories that I tell at AA meetings. Mm-hmm. So this is the AA, this is the CMA, this is the AA and CMA portion of this program. Brought to you by AA and CMA. They're gonna love that.
To say he belongs to every organization. If it's not out there, he'll create one.
No, those are real organizations.
I know, but
okay.
I belong to the BCC.
My fucking grand sponsor, Bill Coffey, farmed the Crystal Meth Anonymous.
Really?
Yeah, he created the damn program. So yeah, I can use CMA. I don't care. It's good promotion for him. Don't use Crystal Meth. No, seriously, don't. This stuff out there is crap now. Back in the early 90s, you could buy a block of ephedrine and then drive it across the border from Canada and cook it down and make some meth. They can't do that anymore. The shit you buy now has got all kinds of crap in it.
Yeah.
Battery acid or whatever the fuck they put in it.
Well, that's what they do. Somebody needs to make it stretch it out.
It was glass, and it was pretty. It either had this purple, like if you had a pile of it. Mm-hmm. It had this. It looked like a mountain of candy. Because it had this, or even a bag. If you open the bag and you look at it, you see the crystal. But there's glass and there's crystal. It's different. The glass is just it's pretty and it's clear and there's a color to it and a hue.
Yeah.
And that was the good shit. It's my last relapse. I found out that wasn't the shit that was out there anymore. Yeah. Luckily, that was only one night, but several people came over and they all had the same crap. Well, how you find out that if it's good or not is you you get a cap. You get a cap from like bleach. You know, and being that I am a home renter, I have bleach, and I do have it. So you put the cap of bleach down, and you just take a tiny little bit of the crystal meth, and you put the crystal meth in there. Now, what's supposed to happen is if it's good crystal meth, it's gonna go, pop and fizz or whatever. It's not, it just sinks to the bottom.
Like an Alka-Seltzer.
Huh?
Like an Alka-Seltzer.
Well, if it's good crystal meth, it's supposed to like something like that. Yeah, and I've seen it pop and fizz before, but how many times people come over and drop it? I'm like, I don't know what the hell that shit is, but go.
And how do you know when it's bad?
Because it sinks.
Oh, it sinks.
It
so
sinks.
It's like lead.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's usually that's bunk. That's what they call bunk. I don't know what it is. If you burn it in the pipe when you're smoking it and it's clear, it's crap too. You want that nice dark, tar. It's some serious. But what we were talking about, secondary virginity.
Yeah, that was where we started.
That's where we started.
And we went to the pot store instead. Or the laboratory, whichever.
The laboratory. Well, it's because of the taste of my mouth. I have this horrible taste of my
Well,
mouth.
that was the last
segment.
segment.
I told you about the taste of my mouth?
Yes, we went through a whole hour of that.
I've gone through several days in a row. Secondary virginity. So, I don't know. It's my freshman year of high school. It's gym class. First period. It's like the second or third month in to high school. I can't remember what it was. It was before. It was like the second or third month.
So it must be October, November.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't November. I think it was like end of September, beginning of October. Yeah, because we started like
that's within one.
We started like the last week in August. I think it was still October. Anyways. They direct us to say, we're gonna go watch a movie today, a fitness movie today, or whatever. We're gonna watch a movie today. We don't have to do gym. And we're like, God, they're gonna show us. I just feel the dread as the girls go to the choir room and the boys go to the band room. And they put in a movie, turn off the lights. I haven't expected popcorn would have been nice. Yeah, and it was entitled. It looked like a Lifetime movie. How well it was produced. And it just comes. The credits come. The opening scene. The title comes in. Secondary virginity.
Really?
Oh my God.
That's funny.
It's and our gym teacher was just standing there with his arms like this because he's seen this many times over. Every year, at least twice a year, because there's two gyms. Or every year, so every year he's been a gym teacher, and Mr. May had been a gym teacher for quite a while. Anyways, and then we had our guidance counselors in there. Yeah. And we're watching a movie on secondary virginity, and these aren't the people that I want to talk about this to. They should have just left it play and left the room. Like when we watched the abortion movie. We watched an abortion in health class. Wow.
They give you that in school?
We saw an abortion in health class with Mrs. Huff, I think her name was.
And parents didn't go off the rails over that? That teaching kids.
Well, I didn't tell my parents. Well, yeah, this was the 80s. This was the late 80s.
It's still, even today, they don't want their kids to know anything. How did you get away with that?
What do you mean we get his health? That's Indiana Health.
It's when they closed the state down for putting stuff like that on.
Yeah, you'd think. You'd think.
Well,
it's a pretty horrific video. The woman. We'll do that another time. We'll talk about the abortion video.
Yeah, I don't want to do abortions right now.
Oh, God. You got to see the way she's convulsing.
So, tell me about the video. What exactly was the premise of it?
I don't remember. There were these two girls. There's someone on there. All I remember is the end of the movie, really. Yeah, there was some dating and these couple, and they love each other, and blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't a long movie, maybe like 20 minutes or.
But there was no
hour.
sex involved. It was
There's
just,
no sex in it.
It's all the.
But. It's like the girl's wedding day, or it's coming up on the girl's wedding day, and she's. I think it's her wedding day actually. And she's in her wedding dress. I don't know. I'm just guessing. That's how we remember it. She's in her wedding dress. That could be wrong. And they're getting ready to go up and take her vows, and she's crying. Anyways, she comforts her, and she said, well, when was the last time that you had intercourse?
Yeah.
Or sex, whatever. And well, not since before Brad and I, started dating. And she said, so you've never had sex with Brad? And she said, no, I've never had sex with Brad. And well, that's secondary virginity. You're fresh. In the eyes of the Lord, you're a virgin. And they were just so happy, and then it all went off, and the lights come on. And
then she had an abortion right there in the church. So the football team all came out.
This is the same girl who is the actress in the abortion movie that I saw in health class later that month.
Oh, was she on her third virginity?
9 months later, or 6 months later, 4 months later, whatever it is. Anyways, 9 months later is a little late. It's already been born.
That would be hilarious. So she goes out, and then they say, when she's about to say "I do," and she says, "I can't," and she falls down. All these little different color babies come crawling out of her. Well, she said the whole football team.
What have you?
So
I see. She did the whole football team.
So
oh no, she didn't say that.
They all left
but it
the
was like
scene.
something. That's all. I was just trying to make light and exaggerate the situation
That's
a little bit.
not quite light when you say a whole football team.
But she'd had sex with a lot of guys, and she was a loose girl or whatever. Anyways,
Was her name Lucy by any chance?
I don't know what her name is. Anyways, I'm pretty sure his name is Brad. Good 80s. It's a good 80s male lead name, Brad. Anyways, so they turn all the lights on, and we're all looking at each other going, oh, God, now what? Because the teachers come up with these pamphlets.
Don't you love pamphlets?
And we all just want to go play volleyball or whatever the hell it is that we're doing.
And you just want to
and they
throw
pass
that
whatever
pamphlet
anyway,
away.
they pass this shit out and so God. Whatever it was, like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was very religious. And you weren't allowed to do that in high school. I went to a Catholic grade school. I went to a public high school. It was very religious overtone, whatever it was. And I got pissed. And then whichever loser of a guidance counselor it was who, I'm not going to say his name, but let's just say this, he had this really thick mustache. But, now he could have, if he chose, let it grow equal on both sides.
Yeah.
Because there was hair. Perfect. He had a very full beard. But for some reason, this side was always always trimmed up like this. And the other side came down here. But there was hair that it could have grown. And ever since the first time I went in I had to go. I met with him in the guidance office, like the first month of high school. That's all I could do is stare at that, thinking, "You're going to help me? You can't even shave. Look in the mirror, you freak." I mean, anyways, I think he's the one that came up and said, "So, who here is going to remain a virgin throughout high school? Because," and then they start telling these stories about girls getting pregnant and ruining their lives and boys being in and they said, "Now who wants to remain a virgin? Now who wants to remain a virgin?" A few of us raised our hands. It really didn't count for me. I lost my virginity a long time before my freshman year. Yes, Mom and Dad, it happened. Boy Scout camp with a girl. The first year I was in, was a den chief. A bunch of us were up on the sand dune that night. Now, what I don't tell in the story is that there were other guys there having sex also. And it was like, there's not really a sex party, but They were making out. There was the lake people had come in from the other lake, and they were all hanging out. So there were people making out, and there's all kinds of shit going on. It's not like some random girl that I met in the moonlight. You know, there were a bunch of other den chiefs up there. It was a party.
So it was a sexual educational.
Oh, it was a sex.
Time.
It wasn't a sex party. It was a party on the sand dune at night with a you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was a party on the sand dune, and anyways, that's when I lost my virginity. And yes, I wore a condom. Anyways. Second, so I rose my hand just to because a couple of the guys that I knew who were kind of. I wasn't a jock, but I could have been if I wanted to. I just didn't want to put in the time, really. But I was strong. I was very strong. I did sports. I did sports in junior high. I mean, in junior high, track and basketball. And football. In football, my senior year or my 8th grade year, I got bored and quit. But anyways, the other guys that are the ones in the back of the line. When you get picked. I was number 3, picked out of 8. These are the guys that are like number 8 and number 7, and they're all just kind of sitting there not knowing what to do. So I rose my hand. They all got comfortable and raised their hand. And a couple of the other guys looked at me because they knew I wasn't, and I said, "Well, that's good because by raising your hand now, you have guaranteed that." I thought, what are you gonna do? And then when they sent us back to the gym. We got back there and did whatever we were doing, volleyball or wherever the hell we were doing that day. And we were all talking to each other. And we said, "What are you going to ask us this every month?" You know, like if it was a series of videos or something. Oh. That was secondary virginity.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.